Hey, this is Richie from Boston. I have these two beautiful puppies right here that I am gonna fucking murder unless you buy one of my bug out bags. No, I love doing Richie from Boston's voice. So look out for Charlie here. A lot of people have been asking me what I think's going on, and I've been saying for years that it's gotten to the point where the obsession with population and the fact that food production is maxed out, that they were going to use something that appeared random that could be controlled with radio waves or ELF, electromagnetic ELF, start taking people out. I think this is directly linked to everything that I've been talking about for years. I think that the fungal and viral aspects of this are pretty evident in the fact that you can control viruses, bacteria, and fungus with radio frequency or electromagnetic frequency. I think that's what's going on. Absolutely. I think that it's imperative that if you're going to reduce the population, that you are able to choose who goes and who doesn't go. And with that, you can have a scoring. Now, everybody over the last 20 years has been monitored well enough to get their IQ, to get every bit of information about you. You put it online, and they can have a whole profile for you, and then they can choose who they're going to hit with shit and who they're not going to hit with shit. So that's what I think's up. I think this is completely and totally not what it appears to be, and I think there's something going on right in front of you that most people can't see, and most people are true believers, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't think they were planning on doing this just yet, but losing control of the narrative and the big pushback against 5G caused them to have a big Bolshevik temper tantrum. There's a lot of money in this, and they figured, hey, why not now? So they've gone crazy with it. And, they never let a good crisis go to waste, so you have all these 9/11 implementations going into effect. Also, they were saying that one of the big symptoms of this is you lose your sense of smell and taste, right? Well, that's when something happens and it takes over your sinuses and your inner ear, your sense of smell and taste goes away, like a fungal infection, or a Shigella fungal infection, or a Shigella fungal graphene infection, right? So there you go with that. And no gathering in crowds is very convenient because nobody can protest shit. They can't go outside, and the revolution will not be televised, right? But basically, this is a big fucking temper tantrum. They have had it. They are sick of playing tug of war with the narrative. They are sick of conflicting views. They are sick of slowly trying to, censor stuff. That's the way these people work. Throughout history, if you study history, these people are the people that just freak out and have temper tantrums. They will not debate things. They will not debate whether things are fact or fiction. They just freak out, stomp their feet, and they get laws passed. And they use people, regardless of whether those people get killed, maimed. They don't give a shit because you are not people to them. So what they do is they use you, they pit everybody against each other, and they get it passed. They get what they want passed, and they sit back and they laugh. And then they talk about what a piece of shit you are behind closed doors. And you have all these people out there, these big alternative media people that have you chasing ghosts, because that's what you do, and that's how it works, and that's how they get sponsors. Because their sponsors are the people that do this. So they get you guys chasing ghosts. They get you guys chasing the elites, the Illuminati, whoever. And it just isn't the case. You're never going to find them because they've got you searching under rocks where there's nothing to find. So, yeah, it's going down. They have hit the brakes. They're fed up, and they're not gonna lose control. They're not gonna let it spend too much work for them. Never again, right? So they've got you arguing over gay rights, transsexuals, whether we should put up a wall. They've got blacks and whites fighting. They've got Mexicans and blacks fighting. They've got Arabs and blacks fighting. They got Arabs and whites fighting. They got everybody fighting while things get done that they want done. Nothing gets done here. And they're getting ready to flip the switch. And they own the switch. They designed the switch. That was part of the smart grid. That's why your smart meters went up. This is it. This is what's going on. And the way they're behaving, and you can tell because the way they're reacting, it's like as if you're driving your car down the street every day or walking down the street and it's just littered with dead bodies. You know, you walk through a field and it's littered with dead bodies. Walking Dead, you know. That's the way people are. You know, I was at the grocery store today and I was walking around and half the people had masks on. And it's crazy because they should be wearing Faraday cages, not masks. And it's really fucked. And the other thing is, you have all these channels now that were, you know, alternative media that are hyping this up. They're helping the hype machine while this gets done. Why would they be out? Contractors breaking the 6-foot rule. Every time the government comes out on the television or on the web to tell you to stay 6 feet away from each other, they're all 2 feet away from each other. You got all these contractors that are next to each other, working in schools and anywhere they can to implement 5 with the G. And now a lot of people say that it's 5G that's doing it, but I don't believe that. Okay, it can implement it, but 4G, Wi-Fi, and cell signals, and ELF, dude, electromagnetic ELF is everywhere. They're using it. It's emanating from your power grid. It's emanating from everywhere, from the cell towers, and that can do it. And the reason why, is 5G is not in areas like Detroit. Detroit right now in the Midwest, which makes no sense because it's pretty far away from China and it's pretty far away from each coast of the United States, is one of the worst cities. The city that went bankrupt. The city that went bankrupt that the government took over has one of the worst cases of this shit. So that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. So this was probably dropped on us. People have probably had it for months or years. So I definitely don't think that the 5 with the G is necessary to help this along. I think everything else, radio wave wise, or electromagnetically can do this. But I think that they're using the opportunity while this is going on to install the Death Star without any type of friction. And off subject, but I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I was wondering, you know, there's a lot of people that have what they call the inner voice or the inner dialogue. And a lot of people that are targets, that have been targeted, don't have that inner dialogue that's constantly, you know, yapping along in their head. So instead of that meshing with their inner dialogue, they hear what would be an outward thought that they think is a voice. And I wonder how many of you out there that have been targeted with RF weapons, how many of you don't have the inner dialogue, the inner voice, like a lot of people do? If you can, post in the comments, because I find this very interesting. it could, everybody, what would be funny is if everybody else is under mind control, and since you don't have that inner dialogue going on all the time that they can corrupt, they attack you with V2K. I think that would be a worthwhile thing to look into. Okay, look out for Charlie.